Hello, good evening, everybody, and welcome to another episode of Talk It Out. I am Brandy Fox, and I will be your host for today. I am super excited to have you on. We have an amazing topic today, and I cannot wait to get to it. So, if you know any real estate agents, anybody that's thinking about it, been talking about it, homegirls, homeboys, please tag them in this live post. We're going to be dropping some good information just to make sure that if you are looking to get into the real estate market, especially as a buyer, with being a buyer's market right now, that you have all the tools you need to really hit the ground running. So today we're going to be introducing two of my favorite real estate agents. When I came up with this topic, they were like the first people I thought of. So I'm super excited to have Jerell Fields and here today, and we're going to introduce them a little bit later. Please do not forget to share, like, all that good stuff. B.The.Entrepreneur. We're definitely looking forward to connecting with you. So, going right into our discussions of the evening, we're going to be talking about the pros and cons of running your own real estate company versus joining a brokerage, just into a variable income because you will not be getting paid every week and every 2 weeks, especially at the beginning, how to build a client base that converts to sales, effective time management, and the 3 tips to help you guys kind of hit the ground rolling when you first get in the real estate game. But before we start, I want to officially introduce myself. My name is Brandy Fox, and I am the owner of B.The.Entrepreneur Consulting Agency, and we specialize in helping new entrepreneurs and aspiring entrepreneurs strategize, implement, and empower them to create their own business within 30 days. Some of the things that we do offer are signature one-on-one consulting sessions. We also have our new Ask Now instant video session for only $10. We also have our Institute of Entrepreneurship, which will be launching in January, which will be an online curriculum where you can self-pace through everything you need to know to start and grow your business. And if you are looking for something that you can get for free, we do have an amazing blog that is out, www.betheentrepreneur.blog. It has so many posts, like minimum 50 posts about all kind of topics. Just go to the blog page, type in your topic. If nothing pops up, email me and let me know, and I will find the information to the question that you wanted to ask. So I'm super excited. Make sure you like, follow, and subscribe. A little bit of housekeeping. Feel free to ask any questions that you may have live in the comment area. We will be sure to answer them live. If you cannot stay the whole show, no worries. You can obtain a playback of today's video by going to our website. In addition, once you register, you do get a free copy of our Straight to the Market checklist. It's 8 steps to test your new business before you go to the market, just to make sure that it's profitable. So you do get that for free, in addition to the playback of today's videos. So y'all know a happy hour is not a happy hour without our cocktail of the day. That would be a lemon top martini, 2 ounces of vodka, 1 ounce of lemon juice, a little bit of simple syrup, lemon twist, granulated sugar. That's for your rim. I prefer sugar over salt. I don't really like salt like that. And 1 lemon wedge if you're trying to get fancy. But you want to shake all that up in the icer, stream it right into your cup, add your little lemon, boom, 4-ingredient cocktail just for you. So I am super excited to welcome my 2 homies, friends, Jerell and Porchia McMillan, to the stream today. Hey guys.
What's going on, Brandon?
Nothing, man. Y'all know I'm super excited to have y'all on today. We're gonna drop some good information. We've been pumped all week. Look at you.
I just want to know where was
we didn't even share the drink. We did no drink check or
where
nothing.
was this cocktail of the day when the email went out? Because I would have got that. That's all I'm trying to do. I'm missing.
That is so funny. That man already drinking. So
had a long day, okay?
Hey, right. But y'all know, if you have watched the Talk It Out show, y'all know if I do have people on here that I know, I like to always talk about where I met them, how we met. So I'm gonna start with Jerell. We go back to Winston-Salem State, Ram Pride days, man.
That's you.
All the memories.
Mm-hmm. All the memories, man. College, what college is for, right? Making memories.
What college is for. But nah, Jerell was dope. Jerell had the best like parties. Hey, he had a party. It was guaranteed to be lit. So that's guaranteed.
I had perfect attendance at every party. That's we could.
Hey, not perfect attendance. Hey, that's a fact. That's a fact. But no, yeah, good times, good times. So I've had the pleasure of watching him grow his real estate business. I think we met like 2 years ago, caught up for like some brunch or something.
3 years ago. 3 years ago.
Yeah, you was telling me, he was like, yeah, I think I'm really going to do this real estate thing. You know, I think I'm about to go in full strong. And I'm like, do it. You know what I'm saying? So to see where you are now and to be able to have you on here to share some of your expertise for people who are just getting into the real estate business, I'm super excited about it. And I'm looking forward to the information you're going to provide today.
Nice. I'm looking forward to sharing it.
All right. And then we got my homie, Porchia, girl.
Hey, girl.
Hey, girl. So me and Porchia, we go all the way back it's been about 5 years now. We done took international trips together. Yeah, we've been everywhere. USA, however you want it. But I always loved your energy, girl. I always loved your energy. It was always lit. And it was the same thing with you. About the same time I talked to Jerell, you was like, girl, I'm thinking about doing this real estate thing. Like, for real. And I'm like, girl, do it. You was like, I don't know. I'm still on the fence about it. Because I remember you were still thinking about it. So to see you go from being on the fence to like legit doing it and buying your own house. Come on. Not only is she preaching it, but she walking it. Walking like she's talking.
Love it.
Come on, walking like you're talking.
So before we move forward, I want you guys to formally introduce yourselves, talk about your real estate business, what you're doing now, all that good stuff. So we're going to start with you, Jerell.
Cool. So, of course, my name is Jerell Fields. I'm the owner and team lead of Noir Real Estate Group, powered by Costellow Real Estate and Investments. I've been in real estate. This is, I started my 6th year in August of this year. 3 years ago, when me and Brandy met back up, I was considering going full time. Wasn't really sure if I was going to do it, but I knew it when we had that meeting after talking to Brandy. I think I jumped right. I think I had just quit my job and told her I had no choice. But yeah, I've gone from big firm to small firm to, helping, it's more so just about, the business model. So I figured out, what really fit and what was going to help me succeed. And here I am now,
Out here living the dream.
Yeah, you call it that, right? Yeah. It's hard work, but yeah, no, it's I wouldn't trade it for anything though, honestly.
That's a fact. I wouldn't trade entrepreneurship for nothing. Like, it's nothing else. Like, I saw a post the other day earlier. It was like, what would your dream job be? And I was like, dang, like, I'm so blessed. Like, it ain't nothing else I'd really rather be doing than being an entrepreneur. So I feel you on that.
That's real.
All right, Porchia.
Well, I am Porchia McMillan. I am a broker powered by Keller Williams. My firm is called Essential Key. I am an LLC, and I'll go into what those differences are a little later. But I have been in real estate in December 4 years. I am what real estate world call a dual career agent, which means I still have a full-time job and I do real estate as well full-time, which I will go into that as well a little bit later. But I love real estate. I fell in love with it when I got into it. Brandy is so right. I contemplated on it for about 6 months because I was I'm still in the medical field, but medical field was all I knew. And I was happy there. I was genuinely happy there. I was making good money there, but I did not feel a sense of fulfillment that I feel with real estate. And when I got into real estate, it just gave me that spark, that oomph that I was looking for in life in general. And so that is who I am. I specialize in first-time home ownership. And just like Jerell, it's just like, he went full-time. I'm right there where he was 3 years ago. I'm like, I got the itch to do it full-time, but I'm still a dual career agent and still making it happen.
Hey, girl, ain't nothing wrong with that. Don't rush the process, because once you jump out, girl.
That's more income. What are you talking about?
Patience in real estate, period, is patience.
That's a fact.
So it's more so owning your own time.
Mm-hmm.
And we're gonna talk about that. That's the perfect leeway into our drink check, because we got to make sure our drinks are checked, because it's not a happy hour without a drink before we get into this information. So let's start with Porchia. What you drinking on tonight, girl?
little Stella Rose. We're gonna do
Come
a
on,
real cool comic book. A little Stella Rose.
how Stella got her groove back. I love that movie. Love that movie.
Let's run on the beaches of Jamaica right now.
Girl, what girl? Who wouldn't be laid out? You know, I love me a trip. I'll be swimming with the dolphins. Look.
Yeah, but it's a little Stella Rose, a little light drink for the talk tonight.
Hey, ain't nothing wrong with a little Stella Rose. Jerell, what you got over there?
Something that was in the fridge. It's some wine. It's all I know. I read on the thing. It says Sunset Blush. I know it's a box wine, and it's a Sunset Blush, and it's tasty. So judge me if you want to. I don't care.
Hey, I ain't judge you, man. Hey, Sunset Blush. That sound like that. That sound like a beach too. That sound like Hawaii though. They give me like Hawaii vibes.
Yeah, it's gonna give us a B.The.Entrepreneur vibe right now.
Hey, and I take that. I take that. Yeah. So I'm drinking my good old all these wine sangria, y'all. This winking out. My whole $2.49. I saw it and I got like 8 of them. But I ain't never drank it, but this is hitting. So go to Aldi's for your $2.49 sangria because it is nice it cost efficient. Put
the little plug in. I feel you.
Yeah. You know what I'm saying? I like Aldi's. I'm down for it.
That's funny.
So I want to jump right into the meat and potatoes of today. So the discussions of the evening, let's roll off straight with the pros and cons of running your own real estate company versus joining a brokerage. I think when a lot of real estate agents get out, you know, it's just so much information. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like what to do, what's the next steps? Should I do my own thing? Should I get new clients? How do I find clients? So, Porchia, let's start with you. Tell us some of the pros of running your own real estate company and some of the pros of joining a brokerage.
So for me, at this point, I don't see having my own real estate brokerage, which means having agents under me and branching off from Keller Williams at this time. The pros I would say would be that one, the commission. You don't have, if you own your own brokerage, there's no, and correct me if I'm wrong, Jerell, but there's no split. Like you make your own rules, you make your own commission rules, you make your and when I say commission, that's how much money you make on a deal. You don't pretty much, you make your own rules. So that's the pro that I see in my opinion. And I would say the cons is, especially when you're a new agent, trying to just jump out there and get your brokerage. One, there are steps to doing that. You just can't come out of getting your license and just obtaining your own brokerage. There are steps that you have to follow here in North Carolina to obtain your own brokerage. But I would say the cons is not having that backing, and the number one con is not having the training and the foundation. If you don't start off with a good training and foundation in this industry, you will feel like a fish in a really, really, really big ocean. So I would say those are my pros and cons, as a new agent. One, the pros is, you do get to make your own rules. You get to have your own, commission, the money, the things of that nature, build your own clientele. And then the cons would be not having that brokerage, not having that foundation of them backing you up, having that big name, giving you accreditation, giving you a rep per se, and also not having that training and that foundation, which is key in real estate.
No, I completely agree. The benefit of North Carolina, I think, is the fact that they don't allow you to do that. They don't allow you to come out with your license and start your own firm. You have to show that you know what you're doing. You have to earn your broker status in North Carolina, which basically means once you earn that status, everything that you do is your fault, basically. So you are now not protected by the firm that you join. I will say even down the line, creating your own firm is doable even while being with a big branded firm, like a brick and mortar kind of firm. So, for example, what I do, I have a firm. We go by a team, but I have a firm that is under another brokerage, and by that I minimize my risk and maximize theirs. So anybody that comes onto my team is still under the risk of the big brokerage. So, but as far as running the team and running the firm, I enjoy it because I enjoy teaching. I figured out about 6 years ago what God put me here to do, and that was to educate and teach people how to not make the mistakes that I made or mistakes that I've seen. So in this real estate game, I took it upon myself to just say, you know what, in order for me to better be in that position, I'm going to create a foundation for people that look like me, and I can teach them what I didn't have or what I had to go through so that they don't have to go through it. So for me, that's the biggest pro, is I can run it how I want to. I think the biggest con to running my own real estate company per se is more so, again, is I'm running it how I want to. So the freedom to fail is there, right? If I make a mistake and the people that work with me on my team, they don't work for me, they work with me. I make it known even with the team, but the people that work with me, if I fail and they're relying on me to do something, the con of that is I now lose that credibility. And if I can't gain their trust, if I can't, show them what I'm, or practice what I'm preaching, then what's the point? So for Porchia, what she's saying is she doesn't see herself leaving, but, down the line, she may see herself as a valuable tool and, to say, you know what, I've been through some things, so I can share that with people.
You just sparked something in me.
That's it, man. That's what it's all about, right? But down the line, Porchia will get to that point where she's got some knowledge. Somebody's going to reach out to her and ask her for something. And then she's going to get 2 or 3 more phone calls. Those 3 phone calls are going to turn into, hey, hit up Porchia because she got the answer. And she may be in a position where she changes her mind, but I wouldn't change it for the world. What I'm doing right now and how I'm managing the team and how we work together to get deals done, I wouldn't trade it for anything.
No, I totally agree. And I love the information that y'all shared because I know I didn't know that, you couldn't hop right out and get into it, but I totally agree. I think it's good. I think that training is definitely necessary. And I think it's important just to know what works for you and your lifestyle. Like Porchia said, like for her right now, being a dual agent, that works for her lifestyle. And there's nothing wrong with that. And I like to, I'm glad that I had both of y'all on here on 2 different spectrums, because I think sometimes people kind of get in a cookie cutter mindset of what they need to do to run not only a real estate agency, but just their business in general. So you got to remember that, like, at the end of the day, like, y'all, this is your business. So with it being your business, you have the ability to make it flexible to what works for you and your lifestyle. And it's very important that you take advantage of that, because that's a perk. You got a lot of hard work coming with. You don't have that many perks to get into starting a business. I ain't gonna lie, except for the self-fulfillment. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So,
that's
you gotta grab on, every time you get an opportunity to really, put yourself out there and utilize the benefits of being an entrepreneur, running it how you want. So, thank you guys.
I don't mean to cut you off, but I want everybody to know, when you get into real estate, you are an independent contractor, regardless of if you hang your license with a firm, if you are thinking about doing a brokerage, you don't work for anyone. You are a part of a firm. There's no set hours. There's no uniform. There's no, time. There's things like call time, but all that stuff is voluntary. So what you put in it is what you will get out of it, regardless of, in my opinion, regardless of which way you go, what you put in it is what you will get out of it. So if you go into it full time and, you only go into the office or you only lead generate half the time, you're going to get half the results.
Shit, you're gonna be broke.
And this huge brokerage, you only going to get what you put into it. They can't call you and be like, hey, you need to be here in the office. Like that's not it.
I agree.
Right. Mm-hmm. So thank you guys for sharing the pros and cons. We're gonna roll into this income, because I know for me, commission based ain't never been me. Even before I got into I just, it made me nervous. You know what I'm saying? It made me nervous. You know what I'm saying? I mean, when it's commission only, I don't get no base pay like $225 like a waitress. You know what I'm saying?
Nothing.
You don't get nothing. Okay, so let's talk about this, because I know, Jerell, I would love to hear from you first on this, just because you did go full time. How was that transition for you going from a steady, consistent income to a variable income? And how did you adjust your lifestyle to that?
So 2 things about that. I in my mind, I didn't have a choice. It was either sanity or, I mean, I hate to say it, but harm, right?
Yeah, I feel you.
I was in a position where I was losing my mind, and I mean, this is an honest truth. I called my dad one day and was like, "Pops, I just had a conversation with myself. Like I was trying to hurt myself just because I didn't want to go into this office." And he was like, "Quit. Like, don't even, just quit." So for me, I didn't have a choice. But again, the idea of, I've always been a hard worker. So for me, I knew that I was undervalued where I was before. So I knew,
come on, you got to know your worth out here.
So I knew working 70 hours a week and only making X amount of dollars wasn't enough for me. And I said, you know, if I'm going to miss out on my son's first trip to the zoo or whatever it was, it's got to be worth it, right? Or I need to, and nothing's worth that. So again, always being a hard worker, all I know is work. My dad used to wake up at 3 o'clock in the morning, go to work at 4, would get off at 1. So only time I would see him is when he was in the bed. You know what I'm saying? So for me, that's all I saw. He never complained, and we had him on the weekends, and it was fun, but he was at the house. But that's all I saw. And I say unfortunately, because my kids are getting the same kind of, you know, those methods in return, but I'm still doing my best to try to, you know, work-life balance everything. But I wouldn't change it for the world. But to get to the income part, let
it out.
For me, it was worth it, right? For me, it was worth it. I was not afraid of the commission only. I was more afraid to have a child than I was to step into the commission world. Because again, I knew I was going to work hard. I knew I was going to go get it. And that's not something that you take lightly. I want everybody that thinks that real estate is easy, I want y'all to sit back and understand that this is not an easy job. This is a time-consuming job, and you do get paid well at the table. But once you break those fees down, once you break those, you know, the commission, you take that commission check and you break it down in taxes or whatever it is, you're getting paid, but it's all about the work you put in. And for me, I was a hard worker. So the fear of making commission work was not a fear for me. I knew it was going to happen. It was just, do I have the clientele to keep it going? And again, that's it. I was out. It didn't take me long to adjust to it. I've always been money focused. So I understood how to not look at the whole check and break it down very early. So take my taxes out, take my savings out. I was actually able to create more savings from real estate than any other job, you know, that I've ever had. So my wife's got
the power of savings.
My kids got a savings account. I got a savings account.
And my kids, we ready.
Exactly. So I learned very early that this was something I could do to variable income. It was, how much can I make?
How much can I make?
Yeah.
How many hours I gotta be out here on these houses? How
many hours? I swing these houses.
Houses 5 in the morning, do anything for profit.
Come on, that was last week's verses.
Right.
Come on now.
You so crazy. Okay. Porchia. All right. Porchia, tell us about you. And a good thing, like I said, I love the fact that you work full time and do real estate. So I'm gonna say, when I was doing half and half, like when I was a social worker and I started Pamper Us, I know for me, I knew I needed to quit because of the same reason that Jerell said. But I know for me, I just kind of went cold turkey. I was like, you know what I'm saying? I'm just gonna jump out here. I had savings. So for you, being where you are now, are you preparing to leave or to do it full time, or are you comfortable with it? And how do you balance your income? Like, does it make you late? Do you feel like you kind of don't push as hard because you know you got that steady income? Because I know that's how I felt at DSS. I was like, you know what? I ain't got to call them back.
That's a good question. That's a good question. I want to know that too.
Yeah.
So I'll tell y'all this. I'm gonna be transparent. I feel like Rel just was very transparent. So I owe you this.
That's all. Hey, I wouldn't have had you on here if I ain't want you to give it to me 100. That's all I expect from all my friends.
To be real with y'all, I went through a midlife crisis at 28. I've been in the medical field since I was 19 years old, and that's just 100% real. How I got into real estate, y'all wouldn't even believe the story. We won't even got enough time, but I'm gonna say this. I had never watched HGTV in my life. At 28, I left church. I came to work the next day. It was during the Obama campaign, and it was the election time. And in my office, we used to have in the waiting room, we used to play CNN. Long story short, people would be in there arguing over the election. So one day I said, oh, no, we got to change this. We're going to change the channel. Change the channel to HGTV. Cool. So HGTV pull up. It's a Black real estate agent in Cornelius in my mother's neighborhood, Keller Williams.
Oh, wow. Jeez.
Literally supposed to be doing an inpatient. I'm standing there in front of the TV like, and something was just like, do it. 6 months later, I'm right. If I showed y'all my journal for 6 months, I know God was like, girl, who you talking to? Like,
I gotta get this off my chest, Lord.
Like, he don't went on to somebody else. He like, I'm tired of hearing this. Like, this is no lie. I said, God, I'm moving. You tell me to move. He told me to go to school. I went to school. I got my real estate license. Boom. I came to my manager and I told my manager, honestly, I said, look, I got my real estate license. I'm about to do real estate. In the field that I'm in, you guys, I would say y'all this, it is very rare that you have someone supporting you, especially when you're doing something that could take away from their time. Mm-hmm. I just say, whatever you need, just make sure you make it work. I started moving and shaking. I have to give a shout out to Kay Morrison. She is my mentor.
Okay.
She is the A1.
Yeah, Kay's awesome.
I started moving and shaking, hitting the ground running. I started with another firm, another brokerage. And in that brokerage, it was the lifestyle. That brokerage had the lifestyle that I dreamed of. It was luxury. It was everything that I thought.
Bougie people always like to say luxury. That's their word. They don't like to say bougie. They like luxury. Luxury word.
The broker in charge pulled me into the office and said, listen, if you can't be here at least 30 hours. I remember when I told y'all that when you get into real estate, you are an independent contractor. There's no set hours. There's no uniform. There's no time. There's no schedule. She said, we want agents that's going to be here 100% of the time. And your time here, you're not going to be able to grow here. Okay, cool. I went to another brokerage. Things worked out well. I was praying over my business, affirming myself. I knew what I was walking into. And this is what I'm about to tell you the truth. 2 years later, they say year 3, you take off. Year 3, I did a multi-million-dollar deal.
Come on.
I did, but now we're about to go to the thank you. But this is when we're about to go to the income, because this is where I wasn't prepared. Because
it got real.
And this is why y'all gotta, if you're gonna get into real estate, you definitely gotta change your mindset. Because I was an employee. So I'm used to having my taxes taken out of my check. I'm not used to getting these shit. I mean, at that point, I had did a couple deals, put my little 20% aside, okay.
Yeah, but we balling.
Magnitude, you're like, whoa. So the income issue, honestly, I have now, because of the type of clientele that I do have and the repetitiveness of it, I use my full time, and be honest, that's my residual income. It doesn't make me hustle any less, to be honest, because everything that I'm getting from real estate, I had a goal. This year I purchased my first home. The home that I purchased was beyond anything. Thank you. And I appreciate that. But as humbly said, the home that I purchased was beyond anything. It exceeded. Let me tell you something. I'm a true believer in God, and I'm not going to take it there, but it exceeded my expectations. God exceeded my expectations in this whole thing. So me being a real estate agent, yes, I will say it does give you that cushion. Like, if I have a bad month, if I don't have a closing this month, I know I still have this full time. I'm still making every 2 weeks, making a certain amount. Every month I have a certain amount. But I will say like I said in the beginning, what you put in it is what you get out. Once you start making money and once you start learning how to budget your money, your savings, you know, your kids' savings, you start not even saying living a different lifestyle, but you definitely start seeing things differently. It makes you hustle harder. And so if you're able to balance and maintain that balance and you have a very transparent situation, like with me, thank you, thank you, Sabrina. I don't conceal from my clients or from my full-time. Now, mind you, I can't just be like, oh, I ain't going to work today. I got a closing. You know, you definitely have to do things in an order and steps in an order. But, you know, it is doable. It is doable if that's the lifestyle that you want and that's the lifestyle that you need. I'm not going to lie and say I'm naturally an entrepreneur because that was like I said, I've been in the medical field for 14 years. I have my license and I have multiple licenses in different things in the medical field. I've been doing different things in the medical field for 14 years. So it has taken me a while to shift my mindset. And with that comes the dual career situation where I'm comfortable where I am. And I know that, like, I ain't gonna lie, Jerell sparked something. I'm like, dang, I do be getting them phone calls, and I definitely do be sliding them over like, hey, you might want to call such as, call this person, they might, can help you more because I don't have the time to, but I'm like, So I'm gonna be praying on that and, let that sizzle in my spirit.
Yeah, girl, don't rush it. Plan it, execute it effectively.
Key to real estate is patience because I'm gonna be real with you. I didn't do nothing. I didn't do anything the first year in real estate. I did a couple of rentals and I was like, oh, nah, this ain't it.
Yeah.
But then when I got to alignment and figured out where I was, that variable income wasn't an issue.
Come on, variable income. Well, thank y'all for sharing that information. It was good to get both of y'all point of view. Porchia, you coming from the point of view of having a full-time and being an agent. And Jerell, you hopping out there like a G, hey, I just out there full-time, baby. You know what I'm saying? So one thing that when I was researching real estate pain points, those type of things, I saw that one of the biggest pain points is that a lot of people can't convert their clients to sales. So I know you guys, of course, you've been selling, especially Jerell. I know you've been selling as well. So what are some tips that you can give on how to build a client base that converts to sales? Jerell, we'll start with you on this one.
So what I teach my team is the biggest thing is understanding your network. Everybody is not going to be the cold caller. Everybody is not going to be the door knocker. So if you're not going to do those things, you need to understand that something else needs to take the place of those two things, because those are the in your face, I've got this, and that's the sales mindset. But I truly do not believe we are salespeople as real estate agents. Great. I feel like we are liaisons between the person and the home of their dreams. And I do not sell a thing. I show them this. I give them facts. I tell them what I've seen off my experience, and I let them make the decision on their own. So I guess the biggest thing is, again, understanding your network. When I got into the business, I knew a bunch of millionaires and I got my license and none of them wanted a house. So it's not about, who is there, who do you know? It's truly who's looking for a house, or who can you say, you know what, I know your situation. Let me help you and do this. So I encourage, like, one of the tips I just gave out the other day to somebody, I said, look, why don't you just reach out to, people that you've known for a long time. And they say every person that you know has 4 people that may be looking for a house. And then those 4 people have 4 people. So again, understand your network, understand social media is so free. It's so free. Right? So to be able to that be your resume, treat it like your resume, right? So I 100% will tell everybody, if you want to be known as a real estate agent or a successful one, present yourself in that way. This is the only business where we can't walk into a building and put a paper resume in front of people and they care to read it, right? Mm-hmm. So you truly have to take advantage of social media. I just got a client yesterday. They emailed me and said, hey, we want to go with you. They interviewed 6 other agents. I won, whatever. But they told me, look, the reason we chose you is because your social media is amazing.
I agree.
Your reviews are amazing. You seem like you have fun when you go through this process with people. So they truly looked at my social media. I mean, again, I hear it all the time, but it's hard for me to understand, like, yo, people really watch what I do, care about what I put out there, and they use it as a reason to want to work with me. So you got to understand your network and who you're presenting to. The one thing I will tell any new agent, I hate this, but other people may not, but I hate this. Please, please, please. If your network is not buying $1 million house, don't show them $1 million houses on your social media. What's the point? If they can't feel like you're showing them something that they can get into, don't do it. That's one tip. I'll give you more later on, but I mean, that's one big tip is know your network and present to them as if it's something that's achievable. I hate this is $679,000 house. This is beautiful. Yes, they can watch HGTV for that. Hello. But they come into you all day. They come into your page because they know you and care about what you're putting out. But if they can't see themselves as one of your clients, then they're not going to use you. You know who they're gonna come to? They're gonna come to me. And then you're gonna see them with their keys at closing.
Smiling with you.
Hey cousin, why you didn't use me? Oh, well, I figured you was only selling $1 million houses, so I went with so-and-so who had the time for somebody who couldn't afford that much. So use your social media wisely. I mean, I could dive deeper, but I don't want to because
that's perfect.
It's just yeah,
that's good.
That's really, I mean, that's a big tip I have is use your social media wisely because one, it's free and it's your only resume as a realtor.
All right, so before we roll into Porchia, I'm gonna go back over what Jerell said, just in case anybody just hopped on. So we're just talking about effective tips to transition your clients into paying clients, basically convert your clients into sales. So his first step was creating an effective network, basically making sure that you have people in the network that can help you leverage what you're doing as a real estate agent and either help you find people or connect you with people who may be looking to sell or buy a house.
Correct.
The second item that he stated was leveraging social media. Make sure you present yourself as a professional real estate agent. And that's one thing I can say both of y'all did well. Like Porchia, I think you just had a photo shoot. It was looking real fly. That gold was popping, honey. I started singing Brown Skin Girl. I was like, Brown Skin Girl, come on.
Shout out to Christina, my photographer, who was playing girl. I was getting
you look good though. You look good. And Jerell, look, I saw that picture when I was putting the presentation together. I said, oh, okay.
Somebody that grew up a little bit.
Somebody grew up on me. Come on, facial hair.
Yeah, that's right, because I ain't had no beard or nothing. Listen, that's the best thing that could happen to me was the beard.
It go with the look. It go with the brand. Like when I see y'all, I'm like, you know what? Like I would buy a house from y'all. Y'all look professional. Y'all like, I love the fact. One of the things I liked about both of y'all is the fact that you seem like approachable. Like I read a lot of I be picking up magazines all the time, the housing ones. Like some of those real estate agents, they just don't look friendly. Like when I look at your picture, I'm looking like, you don't even look like nobody I want to sell. Like, why you mean mugging? You supposed to make me want to buy a house. Like you got on the jail pose.
Or you just look like somebody they don't want to work with.
And I don't get that feeling from y'all. Like when I saw y'all pictures, I was like, yeah, they look like people that I know. Somebody I can relate to as an African American millennial out here in Charlotte. So I love that. So step 2 was leveraging your social media. Make sure you present yourself as a professional. And the last one was post what your network can afford. People on your social media can only afford $200,000 houses, then that's where you need to be at.
And I'm not saying don't dream. But I'm saying understand who's watching your page. If you constantly post it, I see it all the time. If you constantly post it and you showing this $1 million house or this $600,000 house and you taking pictures in front of it, it's all good. But if your resume don't show that you selling that, then what's the point? Because obviously the people that want to work with you don't feel comfortable doing so because you ain't doing much business. And the reason they don't feel comfortable doing it is because they feel like you out their league.
Yeah.
So you're just messing yourself up. So Porchia, what are 3 tips that you would give for how to convert clients into sales? What are some of your things that you do?
Honestly, the first thing would be to, and I always say this word wrong, so y'all don't laugh at me. Know your niche. Know your
You
niche.
gotta know your niche.
Like, know who you're targeting. Like me, I am a single mother. I had my daughter in my teens. So I knew that my passion was to help somebody my passion for real estate is to help people attain the obtainable, what they feel is obtainable. God uses me as a vessel. So you definitely have to know who you're targeting. Like Jerell said, it's okay to dream. I post modern $1 million homes on my stories, like, hey, y'all like this? Oh, look at that waterfall. Oh, look at that bit. But that's not my niche. When I post information, it's for the 25, well, I'll say the 20 to 8, or 18, you can buy a house, 18 to 45-year-old that has never purchased a property before, that has that wants to know, hey, I get this question so much that I post it almost on the daily. What's my first step? Mm-hmm. And as layman as that may sound, so many people don't know where to start. They think, okay, well, I'll find a realtor, pick a hat, find a realtor, and I go see houses. That's not the first step. That's not the first step. And I get that asked so much. So I say the first thing would be finding your niche. The second thing would be being relatable, being humble, being yourself, being authentic.
We talked about that authenticity before we got on.
Like, you just have to be yourself. Like, anything that you feel forced to do, anything that you feel like, you just reaching, or you got to do too much to obtain it, it's not for you. God will put you in the places, in the position that you're supposed to be in once you align yourself. And that's what the understanding that you have to, and I'm not trying, that's just my opinion. I'll say that's my opinion. So that's my number 2. And my number 3 for converting clients is to be knowledgeable. Be informative, be transparent. When you have these buyer consultations, the first thing you can't think about is the commission. If you get somebody that's pre-approved for $300, you can't be like, oh, that's a $6,000 commission. No, you got to sit down with that person. You got to educate that person on what they're about, these steps they're about to do. Because once you get into it, the buying process is tedious. I don't know if, I've had people that have walked into one home, fell in love, and I was like, oh, yes. And then we got on a contract, and that inspection came, and that appraisal came, and it didn't appraise, or the inspection came and the foundation was rotted and the roof was leaking. Like, every deal is different. Every deal is different. And if you don't have that initial conversation with your clients and tell them what they are to expect during this process, you're going to be stressed. You're going to be even more stressed, because they're going to be looking at you like, now, you ain't tell me all this. Now, you ain't tell me I had a roof inspection. You ain't tell me I had to go get a structural engineer. And these things come out of the buyer's pocket. These aren't free. These things cost. These go to your due diligence. I ain't gonna go into all that, because if you're thinking about getting into real estate, once you get into school and when you get out, you hang your license, or you find Jerell and you join it, everybody gonna educate you on that. But you definitely have to be knowledgeable. You have to understand what you're doing. It's not cool to jump, and I'm gonna be transparent. The first year, that was my problem. I jumped out here like I was experienced. I was like, shoot, I done did my 75 hours and my post license. I knocked all that out in a year. I'm done. I know what I'm doing. Let me go and unlock these doors. And what I was stressed, because when clients was asking me questions, I'm like, and so I would say definitely know your niche, know who you are targeting, know your targeted audience, know who you want to work with, know who wants to work with you. Also be authentic, be real with yourself, be knowledgeable, and just make sure that you are humble and you're presentable. Because like Jerell said, I don't sell anybody anything. You ain't gonna put that pressure on me. Mm-hmm. I don't sell nothing. The only thing I do is facilitate.
Come on, facilitator. I like that.
And welcome buyer to your house. You may kiss. You're married. That's what I do. I'm the facilitator. if you start putting yourself in a position of thinking, oh, we buying a house, or like you and your client is a we, you put too much pressure on yourself. You put too much responsibility on yourself. You have to make these clients make informed decisions, but you also have to be knowledgeable to give them the information. That's it.
That's a fact.
Nice.
Thank you for that. Those are some good points, y'all. That's 6 strong points. Hope y'all caught those. If you didn't, don't forget you can go to www.B.The.Entrepreneur.com, subscribe, and you'll get a copy of this video if you missed anything that we talked about. So rolling right along, let's go into effective time management tips. So Jerell, I know for you being full-time, and I know for me being full-time, it's so easy to get caught up in the work. Like I know for me, like I'll be working for hours and I'm like, oh Lord, let me get up. You know what I'm saying? Let me go do something. So I know with real estate is even harder because you gotta, balance closings, your personal life, contracts, viewings. So how do you manage that as a full-time real estate agent?
So I'll say the best thing that ever happened to my career was starting a team. What I did was I bought back time. At the time I started this team, I had 17 active contracts by myself. And it was, right? That sounds awesome, right? But 17.
Right, so you running them things.
17 active contracts until one person wants to see one in Concord, another person wants to see one in Pineville, another one wants to see one in Mint Hill. And it's impossible. It's impossible to be yourself and not tell them you're busy with other people. So what I did was I met with 4 other people who were just as interested in getting to that next level. Go-getters, grinders, and we linked up, and it became, I said, look, I'd much rather have a percentage of something than 100% of nothing, because those 17 clients would have been 2 if I only showed the 2 I had time for houses. And I mean, a couple of them were listings, stuff. I think I had 6 listings, like 11. I think 11 of them were buyers or something like that. So it was crazy. But that's the best thing I did was I bought my time back. And even now it's still hard. Like I tell people all the time, man, if you figured out work-life balance, let me know. Give me the secret. Because I don't know it. All I know is hard work. That's literally 100%. That's all I know. And it shows. And that's why my clients love it. But then again, I got a family, right? I got a family. My kids walk in my office and it's hard to say, to not say, give me a minute. Like I'll be there in a second. But sometimes you got to, and sometimes you
gotta get up, man.
Yeah, sometimes I do. But then like I have these conversations with my kids, man. One time I was leaving for work on, this was during the COVID stuff, but I was leaving to go show some houses, and it was like a Thursday, and the kids were home, and they was like, "You leaving?" I was like, "Yeah, I go to work." Oh, so I had to have a conversation like, "Look, this is not normal. COVID is not normal. Okay, so you all would be in school right now. So let's focus on the fact that y'all are on my time with this."
Exactly. Come on.
I had to break that down to him. And I had to break that down to him. And not only that, I had to say at the end, I was like, "Look, do you understand how that makes me feel? Because if you make it seem like I'm always putting work first and I don't have time for you, that's not easy for me to go out and leave and go work, So understand how that makes me feel when you say how you think I feel." So like I said, if you figured out time management, by all means hit me up with some tips. But I think it really just comes down to prioritizing what's important. Lately I started shutting off my desktop at 9, so I don't take any phone calls after 9 p.m. unless it's like from my team or something like that.
Right.
Any phone calls after 9, and I go upstairs with my laptop, but I'm in my bed, with the wife. And I said, look, if I'm gonna be doing anything, I'm in the bed, spending time, talking to her in between emails, whatever it is. But I'm learning how to do certain things that eases the the work-life balance. But again, it's you got to just prioritize what works for you. And again, for me, I created a team because it gave me my time back. I could only imagine how many gray hair. I got 7 right now, but I can only imagine how many gray hairs I would have. You know, how many gray hairs I would have if I didn't. So just figure out what works and prioritize.
No, I totally agree. And Jerell, it was so when you said that was kind of like refreshing, because I'm not gonna lie, running multiple businesses, like, you know what I'm saying, in locations, like people like, yeah, girl, you out here. I'll be like on the inside, I'll be like, y'all don't even know. Y'all don't even know.
They don't. And that's the downside to social media.
Yeah. Yeah. It take a certain amount of like mental balance, sanity to be able to run those many things. And I get into those same situations, like, I'm like, okay, give me 5 more minutes, and that turned to 30. Then I feel bad, but I'm like, dang, I gotta work. We gotta eat, and then so, but I love the fact that, that you talk to your kids, and I know I did the same thing. I'm like, hey, I call them team meetings. We have team meetings, and that's what we all gather in the living room. So I'm like, hey, y'all, 10 time for a team meeting. We all gathered in the living room, and I said the same thing. Hey, mommy gotta work. I gotta do this. I gotta do that when I'm on the phone. You know what I'm saying? Setting those boundaries. And I think that's a key thing. Setting boundaries, even with your work, shutting the laptop down, and even with them, during this time, I need to work. I need that time. So I love that. Those tips were amazing. Porchia, what are some of your effective time management tips?
All right. So y'all know I'm a dual career agent. I'm gonna tell you this right now. I got an almost 15-year-old daughter that's just as busy as me. So thank God for that. And she likes to spend money, so she understands what mama is doing. She sees the fruits of my labor. But I would just like Jerell, I did not create a team. I don't have a team, but I do have sources. I manage my resources. So I do have a transaction coordinator, and I do have a showing assistant. So with that definitely takes a lot off of me, and having to be multiple places at one time. So like during my 9 to 5, well, I don't work 9 to 5, but during my 6 to 3, if somebody needs to see something, I do have a resource that I can depend on to go and show those properties for me. Once I get a client under contract, I do have a transaction coordinator that does handle that transaction to close that time in between for me, to take a lot of stress off of me. Before I had those 2 people, and shout out to Coordinate to Close, because they are my lifesavers. It does get stressful, but on my screen, and I'm live right now on my social media, but on my screen I have Beyonce Don't Sleep. And the reason why I have Beyonce Don't Sleep, because I don't know if anybody's seen Homecoming, but sis went 6 to 8 months without sleeping. And she did an amazing thing. Like, I mean, Coachella 2018, I don't know if he was in attendance, but Coachella 2018 was everything. Okay. When I say everything, she put her heart and soul into that. And so I just look at it like, definitely have to maintain, that work-life balance. I do have a teenage daughter, and I do have a family, and I do, work 2 full-time careers, and I do need my sanity, but I also leverage my resources by, having a transaction coordinator and a showing assistant, people to help me when I get, super busy. So that's how I do it. Really in a nutshell, I just have resources that I depend on.
No, that's good. People overlook it. Like, I know when I got my assistant, like, it'll be 3 years ago now, and I was like, bro, I was looking at my budget. I'm like, I don't know. You know what I'm saying? Like, I need an assistant because it was getting crazy. Like, it was like the middle point of getting busy, but I didn't think it was busy enough for an assistant. But then it's like, it gets to the point, Porchia, kind of what you said, like, you can't afford not to. Like, and even with you, Jerell, you couldn't afford not to give away that percentage in order for your business to flourish. And I think that's something. Exactly. Because at the end of the day, y'all gotta remember, like, ain't nobody making it to the top by themselves. So it's important to delegate certain tasks and to create a team that help alleviate some of that pressure that you feel as a real estate agent, because it's already a lot just being a real estate agent, just in general. Then adding on personal and family and all of that, I can't imagine. So I appreciate y'all giving those tips on how you guys balance your time, and thank you for your transparency. as well. Like, I love it. I appreciate it because I know you guys are not the only ones that are single parents or, having to leverage a family and do everything else. So our last part that we're going to roll into is our top 3 tips for new agents entering the real estate market. And Jerell, I'm going to start with you. Let's talk about like some things that you learned that you didn't know like before, like kind of something that you learned along the way.
A big thing I learned was part-time is a mindset. People say I'm a part-time agent. Most new agents come in and say I'm gonna be a part-time agent. By saying part-time, you live it that way. You treat it that way. I love how Porchia says she has 2 full-time careers because again, it's a mindset. I remember being in the office one time early on in my career at another job, and the lady, we had these little one-on-ones, and the manager pulled me in there and she said, I know you doing your real estate stuff or you got another job outside of here, but you need to focus on, your number 1 job. And I was like, I am. Like, I am focusing on my number 1 job. You don't understand. This is the part-time. You know what I mean? So
that's so real. Listen,
So part-time is a mindset. So once you get into the understanding that this career is a full-time job, you can't not answer your phone. You can't not, go without, giving it your all. So I guess that's one thing I learned while being in this business. 2, I learned how much people appreciate great communication.
Yeah.
One of my biggest pet peeves is not answering your phone. So in return, people will call me and they say, Jerell, did the phone even ring? And I go, why should it? Why should it ring? You calling me? This is how I make my money. So
I'm gonna answer that phone.
Answer my phone. But I get it all the time. People laugh and they make it a joke. I got a friend that will still call me to this day randomly just to prove to somebody that's in the room that Jerell's gonna answer the phone. So that's really, those are 2 big things. I guess the third thing, I wrote it down too, is it's a commitment. You gotta understand the level of commitment this job takes. People underestimate what we do. They think we just open doors and get big checks. But people truly underestimate what we do as agents. And just to be transparent and honest with you, I got something that's going to show it. 2021, I've been working on this project, and I got something that's coming out that will show the hard work that people put into being an agent. And just give these new agents or these people that say, I'm going to get my real estate license. I love those conversations. Believe me, I do. I enjoy it so much when new agents get into the business that it's laughable. People go, Jerell, why do you want more people in the business? I'd be like, because they suck. They suck. And they don't know how much they suck because they are, oh my God, I see it on Facebook all the time. Guess who just got their real estate license? Or if you're looking to buy or sell, hit me up. And people are like, oh, I'm gonna call you. And I'll be like, no, they're not. No, they're not. So they're not. It's so funny. So truly, man, it's you gotta commit to the hard work. And if you don't commit to it, then you'll be back out there working a 9 to 5. Or you definitely won't be a real estate agent. So and it costs money.
Hello.
It's expensive. So you have to sell. You have to sell. If you don't sell, you're gonna go broke just trying to tell people you got your license. So
Jerell, please tell these people how much it costs us a year to maintain these licenses.
I could give you a couple. So you got the $15.35 that comes out every month for your e-key. Then you got the $195 a quarter just to be a part of the association. Then at the end of the year, you got to pay like $500 plus just to be a part. Again, just an annual fee to be a part of the association.
That man, hey, he knew them. Hey, he ran them off like he be dreaming about it like that.
I'm about to be the slight brag if I can. I don't even see those leave my account. So we gonna make it up. But again, that's a testament to my hard work. I don't even know those things exist. But again, those are just some of the fees. If you join a firm where there are monthly dues, you got to pay monthly dues. If you join a firm where they're charging you to use the computer, you got to pay those fees. If you join a firm where they're charging you to print, you got to pay those fees. So
that's crazy.
But again, there's firms out there that don't. Yeah, there's firms out there that don't. There's firms out there that do. But again, it's all a level of commitment. It's not just joining Keller Williams and being like, you know, I got that red sign that I can put in somebody's yard and sell this house. Or it's not about joining, or it's not about just joining my team and being like, you know what, you know, I got Noir behind me now and I'm about to start doing this. No, it's all still a testament of the hard work you have to put in. But this ain't a game. But again, you got people like me that's standing there telling people, come on, keep coming, because all you doing is making me look better because you suck. I get so many clients that had an agent and will call me because their agent sucked the first time around.
Okay, so we like to make sure that we keep this as a helping. So when you say suck, what does suck look like? So that way any aspiring real estate agents know what not to do.
Well, that comes with proper training. But I say they suck because they're new and they have to understand that they're new. A lot of people come into this business and think it's going to be easy. What I'm saying is understand that it's hard and go into it with the mindset that it's hard, but be willing to put in the hard work to make yourself become successful. If you come in like 90% of these agents do, and you say, I'm a real estate agent, if you need help buying or selling, hit me up. I'm your girl or I'm your guy. How are you my girl and my guy? You just got your license. You don't understand what it takes. And I'm not saying that you aren't going to be a good agent. I'm saying that there's reasons why jobs require X amount of experience before they hire you. Because the people that are buying houses are hiring you. They want that experience, or they want somebody in your corner that has that experience. So don't come into this business with the mindset of, I got this. No, I believe you do, but I want you to understand what I got this really means. And I didn't understand that. And I'm sure you didn't understand that. And I'm sure a lot of agents don't understand that, but that's what we're doing this for, because we've learned that you have to be open to how hard this business really is, because you will be let down very soon. I sold one house my first year. One house.
Me too. Me too.
One house my first year. So I went 365 and sold one house.
Me too.
So I know people that sold zero their first year. But again,
you have to know that it's 100%. Every deal is 100% different. You are not going to get the same deal every time. If you go into it thinking like, oh, it's going to be like the last one, I promise you it's not. You have to go into it. If you're not, I'll say this, and I don't mean to be rude. If you're not a problem solver, if you're afraid of conflict, if you don't have thick skin, if you don't know who you are as a person, real estate is not for you, or it will develop you. I would say that if you don't have confidence, real estate will show that you don't have confidence.
That's a fact.
Some sharks in this industry. There are some heavy hitters in this industry. And if you go into it like I did, and I'll be honest, like I did, and I was like, oh yeah, I'm that girl I seen on HGTV. I said graduated, didn't graduate. I got my license, and I was like looking for $450 and up price points. Do you know how difficult it is to sell a home that's $500,000? When you're getting into it for the commission, you're doing it for the commission, I promise you will not last longer than a year. You will waste your money, you waste your time and your efforts. If you're into real estate literally strictly for the money, you need to go and be an investor. You don't have to get a license for that. Learn the investment trade. Learn the wholesaling trade. Do not get into real estate to make money, because if you look at your clients as money, as a commission check, you're not going to fully grasp the transaction. Every transaction is different. Every single transaction is different. And if you continuously move in the sense of you're just trying to have as many, like Jerell said, if you just out here like, oh, I just got my license and I'm just jumping out here. If you do not have fundamental training in the foundations of real estate, it won't last. It will not last.
No, I totally agree. And that's true. I mean, and you know what? The fact that you said it's just in real estate, that's true. But, it's not just real estate. That's in entrepreneurship in general. It really, you really got to have thick skin to be an entrepreneur. You really got to have the right mindset. You really have to be a grinder. And, when I thought about real estate, and I came up with this topic because, like y'all said, I've seen so many people come out as real estate agents. And, for me, whenever I see somebody with a business, the first thing I do is go to their page. Like, I want to see what's going on your page. And what I will say is that it's very important that y'all recognize as a real estate agent, like your personal page and your business page, that needs to be separated. I've seen a lot of agents that, and when I say separated, I mean, you need to have a whole separate entity. Now, that's not to say there's anything wrong with sharing stuff on your personal page, but just remember that is still your personal page. So when you share that business page, if somebody clicks on your page, you have to be prepared that they're going to see everything else that you've been posting in between those houses. So just be aware of what you're sharing, how you're managing your social media as a real estate agent. And I say that because, like I said, from experience, I've seen real estate agents post, and I go to your house. I mean, not go to your house. I said I didn't go to your house.
That's what it is. House.
Yeah, that's what it is.
That's house. I ain't buying no house, so I see how you maintain your house.
There you go. There you go. That's
I
real.
go on their Facebook page and I'll be like, I ain't in the market to look for a house, but I'll be like, I wouldn't buy a house. You know what I'm saying? So make sure, it goes back to what Porchia and Jerell said earlier, like make sure you're presenting yourself as a real estate agent. Clean, cut, put your personality into it. Don't be afraid to be yourself as a real estate agent. You gotta be the authenticity.
At the end of the day.
Right. So what I always like to do is, before we close out, I would love for you guys just to kind of give us a closeout on how people can reach you and contact you if they want to follow you. We can start with you, Jerell.
Noir Real Estate Group on Facebook. You can go to follow our team page at, I think the thing is at symbol NOIREREG. Of course, my social media is at Sold by Rail. So at Sold by Rail, and then the Instagram page for the team is at Noir NOIRE _ Real Estate Group. Social media is my backbone. So if you guys want to reach out to me via social media, that's fine. My email is right here, Jerell@CostellowREI.com. Don't hesitate to call, message me, ask questions. I'm always open to answering questions. I won't give you too much because there's no value in being on my team. So but I will give you some insight as to the simple questions that you need answers to. But I'm always open to educating. I give out free education tips every Monday night with a lender friend of mine, Terrence Guest.
Come on
Instagram, 7 p.m. every Monday night, called Monday's Edge. We do it for about 30 to an hour, Instagram Live, and just talk about real estate, our past week, and what deals we've done, and the do's and don'ts of being a buyer and a seller.
I love that. Thank you for sharing, y'all. Check it out. 7 p.m. on Monday, IG at Sold by Rail. Catch that real estate advice.
Yeah.
Terrence is dope. He at Atlantic, right? Atlantic Bay.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he dope. That's dope. I'll be tuning right on in.
Nice.
And Porchia, how can they reach you and contact you?
So you can definitely contact me on Facebook at Essential Key. You can contact me on Instagram at Essential _Key_. My website, www.youressentialkey.com. My email is there, youressentialkey@gmail.com. So I ain't gonna lie to y'all. I ain't really the coaching type, but I definitely am the advice. I'll give you the real. No,
Hey, we talked about authenticity. Hey, girl, I tell my clients all the time, stay in your lane. She said, I can't coach you, but you know.
In my lane, I'm a good driver. You know, I'm a straight, you know, straight shots, no chasers. You know, I'm
real so crazy. Hey, and that's in real life.
You know, I'm gonna always say, and I'm gonna be real, I'm gonna always say, you know, one thing I took away from Keller Williams is the foundation training. They had amazing training for me. They offered dual career training for me. When I was able to get off of work, I was able to go in the evening. So if I can give any type of advice, leaving anything, I would say make sure wherever, if you're new to real estate, wherever you go, whomever you hang your license with, whomever you choose to be your mentor, which you don't have to have a mentor, you don't have to have a coach, but whatever you choose to follow, make sure you get the foundation of real estate. You get the understanding of what you are doing, because there are so many risks that you can take in real estate. You can really set yourself up for failure. Legally, you can set yourself up for failure. Socially, your reputation. It's only so many of us. And that's just real. It's only so many of us in this industry. And you don't want to put yourself in a position where you're stagnant. You don't want to put yourself in a position where you're sinking. So I'm going to plug Jerell. Definitely hit up Jerell.
Nah.
But he's like, hey, if you ain't trying to buy a house, you know what I'm saying?
I'm the same way though. I give advice too. I don't coach beyond my team, right? I give advice all the time. So I mean, you can hit me. I'm approachable, just like Brandy said in the beginning. We're all approachable. Definitely. I'm not going to shun you off like, you know, whatever. You know what I mean? I'm too big for this. I'm not. Trust me. But I'll definitely try to give you some advice. But again, it's so based on you that I can't truly answer the question until you know who you are as an agent and who you want to be as an agent.
Yep. That's real.
I think that's the perfect close out. I want to personally thank you guys for coming on today. Y'all dropped some good stuff. Everybody, if you did not get a chance, if you hopped in late, you missed a lot of it, please feel free to subscribe at www.B.The.Entrepreneur.com, and we can email you out this full video clip with everything that we talked about today. My goal, of course, is always to support minority entrepreneurs, and tonight was all about the real estate sector. So thank you guys so much for coming. I definitely appreciate you.
Yeah.
Anytime.
All
right, I'll holler at y'all.
All right, you be safe.
Good night, everyone.
All right, good night. Y'all have a happy Thanksgiving.
Happy Thanksgiving.